1, 2. Yes, yes. What? 1, 2. 1, 2. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. So I want you guys to confirm whether you are getting me clearly. I think I'm working on my microphone. Just confirm to me if you're clearly getting me. Confirm to me if you are getting me clearly. Confirm to me if you are getting me clearly. Confirm to me if you are okay. All right. That being said, it's a wonderful week. New week, new month. Now on to the markets. And this is a Monday morning. As my routine, I normally don't trade on Monday mornings. Basically on Monday. A little maybe I can try maybe late PM session, but I don't trade Mondays. And this is because Monday is mostly prone to manipulation. This is where price is repricing. Sometimes market opens with a gap, so you don't know when market will come to fill that particular gap and what have you. So those are the one. That's one of the main reasons why I don't trade on Monday. Then, if you are a fan of the AMD model, you know Monday is mostly like accumulation and what have you. So I don't like to trade when the market is expanding and the market is moving. So Monday I don't trade. Okay. So first of all, I just want to run you through my weekly plan and see how things are going to do. So this is Notion. I have a daily planner here, which I'm not going to share with you because it's private. Because I just want to show you something here. This is my trading room. Now, this is where I normally first of all come up with the pairs that I'm looking at. Okay, and you can see the way I'm grouping them. So for this week, I'll be looking at these particular pairs. They might seem to be a lot, but I don't trade all of them. You can clearly see there are some that are colored, some are not. So in a manner, at any circumstance, I'm looking at either the colored or the uncolored. Now, what do I mean? When I'm analyzing all these pairs, I don't trade all of them. I just trade a few of them. So the rest would serve as my confluence because they are positively correlated or even negatively. So I'll be checking for something called SMT divergence and what have you. So for example, in the first pair there, I'm looking at Euro USD, Pound dollar, Kiwi dollar, Aussie dollar, gold, of course Nasdaq. So in this case, I'm trade only three, the ones in blue. So I trade, uh, is it called lonely or something? Euro dollar, then Kiwi dollar and Nasdaq. So the rest here just to serve as part of my confluence in the trading world. Okay, but I analyze all of them. Same applies here when it comes to the JPYs. So I only do mostly UJ and CJ, but I always analyze all of them. Now, the reason is, or the advantage is, when analyzing pairs with the same quote, you are able to clearly check the pattern. Because in most cases, I think this is almost my 6th month of having this approach. And what I can say is that I've realized that when you are doing like this one, you are able to tell a common trend across all of them. Basically, you're able to tell there's always a common trend across all of them. So it's something you can take home and try to use it to your advantage. So my pairs are here. The next thing is checking the news. What news do I have today? I've already did that, and I can clearly see the calendar today is very okay. Until around 5 there, I think we have ICM for USD and something. Maybe I think Nani speaks. Fed chair, where US Powell speaks tonight at about 9 p.m. So those are the red folder news that we are having for today. Then, if you are trading, and particularly you are trading pro firms, it's very much important to know the news, because pro firms, many of them, they have this hidden rule that you're not supposed to trade during high impact news affecting any pair. At times, you might think that they talk about, if, for example, if Fed speaks affecting USD, you might think it's only USD. Some even, so long as there's a high impact news, you don't trade anything. So it becomes very, very much important to understand that. All right. So that is it. So after that, what am I supposed to do? Right now it's about 10:34. Of course, I'm not going to look for trading opportunities, but I'm just going to look for my buyers in the market and mark my higher time frames zone. All right. Just going to get buyers and mark the higher time frames zone. Now, so I normally start from anywhere. Now with this one, I normally pair with them with a DXY. So DXY would give me a bias for USD. For JPY, I have a JPX, or the Japanese yen basket. Again, would give you how this one is performing, JPY is performing. Then this one, we have what we call an SFX, Swiss franc index. Again, it will give you an overview of how the Swiss franc is performing. I think those are the ones that I normally use an index to get them. Now, let us start from Jupale with euro dollar and see what we have. So I'm just gonna click here. I'm gonna click here, and today we are only looking at our higher time frame. So I'm gonna write here higher time frame, just like that. Higher time frame, just like that. So when I come to my higher time frame, that is euro dollar. So I want to show you something small. Now, what am I looking when it comes to the higher time frame? Of course, there's what you call top-down analysis, and I don't record everything from, I don't know, from monthly, from blah blah blah. I normally record from my 4 hour. I'm learning to use 4 hours as my higher time frame, so it depends with what you're using. But 4 hour is my higher time frame. So my chart's clean. I normally clear the charts. I've already cleared the charts from last week. So I'd come to monthly. Of course, we're starting a new month. So clearly you can see in the monthly time frame. I just want to get a picture from the monthly time frame and see maybe if there's anything we can able to spot. So from the monthly time frame, I can see we've been very bullish since February. I think this year for this pair we've just been very bullish, and with this bullish here, and the last month candle failed to break this zone, past this zone. So I think our monthly trading regions, can just mark them here. These are our monthly trading zones and the low of this. So for this month, perhaps you're looking to see what the price might want to do in this case. But now here, I clearly feel like price might want to come and collect this liquidity above here before coming down. My thinking though, again, I don't recall that. That's just to make sure that I'm somewhere running up. All right. So same thing in the weekly, no much difference. We were so much bullish, and I think this zone here is acting as my very good target liquidity for the price. I can clearly see price like willingly coming to collect this liquidity. So this one becomes my automatically draw of liquidity. When it comes to my daily, again daily, if market broke past this level here, so I think we are very much bullish again in the daily time frame. And we might want to see price maybe like really want to come and collect that thing. So now we go to our analysis time frame, sorry, our higher time frame. So here we know our ultimate target is here, but now I normally mark anything that I see as a possible attract to the price. Liquidity, of course. Where does liquidity resides? Previous highs. You can see here we have a previous, something like a previous resistance. And why am I saying liquidity is residing here? Like let's see, market was in an uptrend, kuja hapo, came, tried to break past this level, but failed. Dropped down, again came to the same level, failed, dropped down, collecting this liquidity over here. This inducement here, inducing, I think it was inducing sellers, I guess. So some sellers were induced into selling here. Get the point. So some sellers were induced into maybe think the market has shifted completely. They placed their orders here and clearly see market came, took them out. They were taken out, and now back we are still reacting to this particular zone. So am I able to spot something? Maybe a supply or a demand zone? In my case, I'm able to spot a supply, not even a supply, this zone, an order flow. This is an order flow area somewhere here, an order flow area there. So it's an area that possibly I want to see price coming and see how price going to react to this particular area, and that will give us about 70 something pips, 72 pips, the 2 pips. So that's an area of interest. Then we have this, the price moving out. This one is an order block that has been left. So in the forward is going to be an, let me just mark it, an order block. Let me call it my demand zone. My demand zone. Then above here I'm seeing this one, tumesema ni supply. Tumesema ni supply. Supply. So I'm expecting to see market perhaps clearing this liquidity just above this zone. If possible comes to the demand zone, then rush to this supply. Although opposite can happen, can come to the supply. So if it comes to the supply here, we might be able to see some reaction of a kind. So let me have these two possibilities, something like that, or even the market can come, mitigate the supply, come back for the demand for this to clear this in here. So these are the two scenarios that, let me change this color, that I'm looking at the moment. These are the two scenarios that I'm looking at the moment. Now, this is my higher time frame bias. This is my higher time frame bias for this particular pair. So you can see clearly right now I'm not in the good state to say that okay, I'm trading, but I want to see if markets collect this liquidity. Really, I want to see what the market wants to do. I don't have pressure. I can only buy when the markets rush down before collecting here, and I can only sell when the market rally to this point and I'm getting entry signs to go down. All right. Yeah. So that is it. And in that case, what do we do? In that case, we have to wait and see what the market will do. So now I'm going to get a screenshot of my setup. I'll take a screenshot of the setup. It's not taking a good screenshot. Okay, take a good screenshot. Like that. Then you go to Euro USD, higher time frame. Then I come and I paste here. I come and I paste here. So my higher time frame. Now, once the price comes to either of my zones, remember this just I'm just picking my zones, my immediate zones that I want the price to come to. So once the price comes to either the supply or the demand, that's when I'll narrow down to my analysis time frame to make analysis, make further inputs, and what have we to see. So for example, when I go to a lower time frame, I can see clearly here we are in a very good uptrend. This zone here is a very clean uptrend here. So it means in my lower time frame, I should be able to mark break of structure, I mark fair value gaps and see price what the price has to do at those particular zones. So we go to the next pair. Now for this one, clearly, if you check the correlation of euro and pound, they have a factor of about 0.95, 0.97. That is almost close to 1. So it means I'll not now look at pound. I'll look when I'm coming now to my entries just for confirmation. So now I don't need to have a look at pound. Okay. So once the market comes to either of my side, that's when I come to check the pound and see what the pound is doing. But now for this just Monday analysis, a Monday morning analysis is just getting to know the outlook of the market. So I'll go to NSD USD. I'll go to NSD USD. And again, we start from the monthly, as always. Now, depending on your experience in the market, analysis can take from 30 minutes to 1 hour of a pair. Not 30 minutes, actually from 5 minutes to an hour. So if you're so much experienced in the market, you clearly know what you're looking for and your eyes are open to see all those skills. But if you're still new, please take time to get through the market and understand deeply what the market is doing. Don't rush to make a decision, right? So for my case, I've been here for 4 years, so I've clearly learned to understand this pattern faster and know what the market is doing. Clearly, you can see here, this is the next run of liquidity or draw of liquidity. Clearly, you can see that. Why am I saying that? Look what the price did. Price has been an uptrend since January, and we had a sweep of this. We had a sweep of this one. This is, remember, this is monthly, yeah? So we had a sweep of this, and here you can see how price has been behaving. There are no imbalance left here. So yeah, last month even closed above this. So clearly you might be able to see running, and a zone, an immediate zone that I'm targeting. For my case, it's this close of the fair. There's a fair value gap here, monthly fair value gap. So these are zones that I'm really trying to look what price might be willing to do at this zone. There's a fair value gap there, monthly fair value gap, and price, can see prices. Last month, price rejected the fair value gap, and even the other month, price was rejecting this fair value gap. But this month, likely, price might want to come to the fair value gap. So I just want to see price coming to fill the gap, and that's the distance that I'm looking for the month. So I go to the weekly time frame. Not much chemistry happening here. You can see how this gap was clearly filled. So not much chemistry there. You can just mark this low. If anything, also can also be used somewhere to our advantage. Then we go to a daily. This here is happening in the daily time frame. So also in the daily, you can see we've been in a downtrend, but price seemingly is, well, I guess also you are faced with the challenge. You are again in a very strong resistance point. You can see clearly we were at where it was rejected here. Price was rejected here. It was also rejected here, 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 and now we want to see price, if price be able to push above this point. All right, just like to check. You can see this. These are very good distance. Almost 100 pips. That's a good distance that we're looking at in our 4-hour time frame. So now this one here, clearly can see as the price was moving up. You can see there are gaps that have been left here. So this one, let me see in the 4-hour time frame, which is our nini, is our higher time frame. So price has been in a channel since April 22nd. Price has been in a channel, and in this channel, right now we are at a very great zone, a strong resistance zone. That's where we are currently. Zen zone. So we've been in a channel, and now we are at a Zen zone. I think the 4-hour time frame, if I were to mark anything here, if I was to mark anything here, this would be my order block here. Somewhere here there's an order block which has been mitigated. Now it has shifted to this case here, has pushed the price. These are inducements which are not being taken out. To the left, what do we see? So this one, clearly, if you ask me, my mind is kind of stuck, because that's the order block that I'm seeing here that has been formed, and yeah, you can see this move here. If it this one last break of structure, Now clearly this one does not give me a good picture from where I sit as at now. I'm not getting a good picture at this higher time frame, so perhaps I'll just leave it here and maybe I'll I'll still narrow down, but at this particular point I'm not getting a very clear picture of what I'm supposed to do in the market. And share your insights if you are having any. Share your insights in the comment section. But clearly you might want to see maybe an idea of maybe perhaps a total rejection and maybe a rejection to see there's gaps are here. Again, you see these are inducements. So if total rejection might be able to see price pushing down to this side if it's total rejection. But again, might have an instance of a breakout, a retest, take out people here and see price coming to this zone. So this one is clearly out of my mind, but I want to see this scenario. That's not it's in my hand. That's okay. We'll keep wait and see what's there. So let's look at the next pair. Or perhaps we might also able to look at the Aussie dollar and see what Aussie dollar is doing. Because sometimes Aussie dollar can give us a very clear picture. Let's look at NASDAQ. And this is the NASDAQ. This is the NASDAQ. NASDAQ. So just going to have the higher time frame for the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, I think, is the first one in my campaign there. Now, because of its volatility nature, NASDAQ, I don't start from even from the monthly. I just do from the weekly. And clearly can see, yeah, been shaky. Weekly has been shaky in a way. What about daily? Daily has also been shaky. So with the Nasdaq, my higher I normally see even from daily because my higher time frame is hourly. So all right. So what do you see? First thing to catch my eyes is this unfilled gap. We have a gap that's not filled here. There's a gap here which has not been filled. It's called I normally call it oh, nimeweka refu sana. I normally call it a new week opening gap. That's the first impression that I'm seeing on this one here. Any other thing? Nope. So let's go to the higher time frame. In this case, the hourly. So Nasdaq has been shakish. It's been shakish in a way. It has been shakish. By the way, it has been shakish. I feel like here we just have a series of consolidations. Uh, as you see, series of just consolidations. And I don't trade markets like this. Markets like this one are expensive to trade. Yeah, because if you just come here and say break of structure here, then you have all of this zone as your nini, then you want to say that okay, no, anything can happen there. Too bad. Too bad this market is not giving me what I normally want for in a market. It's not giving me so much bad vibes. So I'm seeing that that's a very dangerous market. So It's very important to be sure with what you're looking at in that market. So you can see price came, and we are seeing consolidations. Then we had a fake out break. This was a fake out, another fake out, back to the consolidations. Now we are here. So clearly thing might really consolidate, but we might want to see it maybe breaking below, coming through this gap. This is what I'm willing to see in the future days. So I'm waiting maybe to see if Nasdaq can be able to break this zone, come to fill this zone. So this is what I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting to see. This is what I'll be waiting to see in that case. And now I want you to check, guys, something. I want you to check something and tell me, what do you think is the consistency higher? All right, let's look for one. Then you are going to call it as time for this case. All right, so let's look for something here called DXY and try to measure USD strength. I don't know what DXY is doing, so it's just going to be general overview. General overview. So DXY, it's here. DXY, general overview. So this DXY, I think I said a week ago that after collecting this one, we might see DXY coming down, and you can see DXY is a measure of USD strength. So it means if this one is going down, meaning USD is losing strength. It's losing strength. Okay. And if USD is losing strength, in that case, we expect XXUSD to gain strength and buy. We expect in the long term XXUSD to gain strength and buy. Now, what happens if USD is losing strength? Stocks, these are stocks. You can see these are stocks. These stocks are bought in units of dollars. So if stocks are losing, dollar is losing strength, it means uh because you again, I think we have some worry. We have some worry grows. Mama, sorry to do with the tariff. It's really affecting this dollar and whatever. I think these tariffs very soon you might have to stay away from the major pairs. Might have to do that. So dollar is really losing. Dollar is losing. So inamaanisha kwamba it's very consistent with what you're looking at. If dollar is losing, you might be able to see a small maybe drop just to complete cover here, and maybe long-term buys, short-term sales, long-term buys, very consistent even with what we are seeing here. Short-term sales, perhaps long-term buys to balance it off, but it's not that clear if you If you ask me, it's not that so much clear. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in the market. You can see if dollar is losing strength, it does not automatically mean that it will be selling. No, because it is a relation to other pair. So you might find that again euro is doing worse than even dollar. So you might find that Kiwi is doing even worse. Yeah, so it depends if you put all those factors in place. So the fact that dollar is losing strength will not automatically equal to you buying or selling. No, you have to get to date with those particular things. So that will be my analysis for the first here. Let us meet in the evening for a 3 hour of deep analysis for all these particular pairs. So we're going to have a 3 deep hours tonight for all that. So if you've stayed to this end and yeah, got questions, please you can ask questions. The number is on my bio. Glad to have you today. I think we have had a lot of people joining in. 15 people are a lot of you at this particular time. Anyway, that's great. Having said that, I wish you all the best. Bye.